Hello and welcome back, folks, to another monocolored Invoke / Primal Amulet deck. Didn't even have my hand on the most of the time. Where, yeah, we're trying to copy the Invoke for the big effects, is where that's generally at. Now, this deck I had in my pool of cards for a very long time, and the problem it had was it was constantly running out of gas, and if it wasn't running out of gas, then I probably skewed the cards towards not running out of gas, and then it just drew air for a while. Invoke Despair kind of tied the room together, where it draws you the cards and it deals with the problems. So that's what made this deck actually something that I can present to you now. Now, with that, we'll go down this list as fast as I really can, as usual. So I'm just going to move Discovery over here because it kind of belongs over there. Zof Consumption's a land, and but yeah, it's a burn spell land, whatever, there. And Hagra Mauling's a kill spell / land. That's where that goes. So we're looking something closer to this, of course, with those spells available. Now, Cling to Dust, Graveyard Hate, Erebos' Intervention, Graveyard Hate. There's enough graveyard stuff going on and incidental stuff that you may just want to deal with it immediately. And these options are enough. Cling to Dust, multiple iterations for Primal Amulet, for example, to activate that. After that, we got Fatal Push, along with the Intervention, just the other mode of it, to just deal with small stuff early, or, you know, a big bomb of this later. But still, just stuff that we need to deal with early, and we have to respect it to a certain point. After that, we got some Painful Bond for our card draw, Sign in Blood for our card draw, which can be a burn spell. And I've killed a few people with it. Discovery Dispersal can late game be a bit of a control card if you like, but a lot of times it's really good to just draw deep. Cram Session to get our sideboard of Science's Pest Summoning, Prophecy, Annihilation, and Exhibition. Exhibition being probably the kill card of the deck if our opponent has any longevity about them. After that, Baleful Mastery and E2 Extinction to deal with Planeswalkers. Mastery, just that idea where I need to work my mana faster, and I obviously have chosen that drawing a card is the lesser of two evils, but it happens enough. Extinction Event, half a board wipe, but with an amulet is a full board wipe, and with the exile effect beyond that, that helps clean up a lot of the graveyard shenanigans. Yes, this deck is really good at dealing with graveyard. It's black. I kill creatures and I destroy graveyards. That's what I do. So apparently that's good enough for historic. So there you go. Anyway, Ritual of Soot for early game creatures. The Primal Amulet for our copy, Invoke Despair for dealing with errant planeswalkers, enchantments, and so on like that. And also our card draw, those cards. Stronghold for adding a pile of black mana for when we need to, because if you need to cast some expensive spells, like there's enough expensive spells in the decks that a Cabal Stronghold is warranted. Not multiples, but at least one. Castle Locthwain for drawing deeper. I haven't needed it nearly as much since I added Invoke Despair, but they exist regardless. Maybe you can go down to one and make your Stronghold a little better. Either way, you know, that's up to you if you pick up the deck. So that is basically the deck, and our aim is to do the very rare Burn Them Out in black, which doesn't have a lot of burn style stuff, but failing that, just Exhibition. All right, in on the play, and we have a curve of stuff. It does some things. Let's see if it works with what our opponent's doing. Push available for any creature deck. That's not creaturing. Since they played Mountain, I'm a little bit trepidatious of hitting Sign in Blood. Burning Tree Emissary, for example. Let's just be a little careful about this. Wow! I'm glad I'm going to neuter this freaking offensive. Okay, so we want to knock out Growth Chamber Guardian here, first off. Deal with that. Although there's the consideration of doing it in the proper timing, we're not going to do that. We want to stay alive right now. We are going to Sign in Blood. I wanted to hit land drop. Obviously, I did not. Anyways, Erebos' intervention will buy us time if we can't get to Ritual of Soot. So, there is that. We did seriously neuter that offensive, though. Okay. Cram Session, and we're going to just play Hagra Mauling. That way we can at least get to Invoke Despair if there's something we can do. Right. But yeah, well, that offensive was scary as all hell. We just stopped it. It's so we're doing much better. Wow. That we can solve. Invoke Despair solves that. We're good. Well, it solves it later, but whatever. I'm worried about the, the devotion on it won't be a big deal. If I need to, I'll blow up Burning Tree Emissary. It's fine. So our graveyard doesn't matter here, but the damage obviously does a little bit. There's only, like, one card in the deck that matters for graveyard. Domri. Okay, so if they play another creature, we knock out the creature. This is going to be a real good Invoke Despair. Oh, that's nice to have. Oh, that was good. Just cleaned it all up. Now what do you got? Another Clothis. Okay. Nah, let's draw some cards. Zof Consumption. I think I'll just keep that. We're pretty much tied up now. Rule Spellbreaker. Okay. That's fine. And just stays put. Alright, well, stay put with this. That one green concerns me a little bit. That's all. Alright, Temple of Abandon. Opponent definitely needs to scry to not a land. Voltaic Brawler, sure. They're going to be stuck with Embercleave in their hand. Now, let's try and get rid of that Tamiyo's safekeeping here. Let's just do 3. Oh, yeah, and that. It's all well and good. They do have a stop there of some sort. Yeah, I'm going to Zof Consumption now. I mean, we're not really doing much. Let's try to save it. I could do it more. Like, we have Cabal Stronghold. We have enough mana that we can easily Zof Consumption anytime. Bone Crusher Giant. Okay, sure. They're running out of tools to play here. I'm running out of tools to play. I would like to keep this for a Planeswalker. Let's punch it. Or this, we'll discount this as the 1 black and Erebos' intervention. 9/9. Okay. Take 2. Gain 7. Go ahead. Sometimes you get stuck in the, we're going to only draw removal and nothing else. You know what it's like when your deck just gives this lopsided draw. The lopsided draw that just keeps you alive versus Gruul, but you know. Perfect. I'm going to save it for next turn, though, when I have Cram Session in hand, which represents 2 spells, if we like. And maybe our opponent has something to play. Okay. Now, what do I want to pull from this? I should have done the Cabal Stronghold. It's fine. It's fine. Prophecy. I can't tap this now. Alright, it's fine. I'll let it go. Cruel Spellbreaker. That is okay by me. Has hexproof, so we just kind of let this go. But we're 27 thanks to Erebos' intervention, so whatever. There's a great henge. So opponent may get in the game now. Oh, look at that life gain, opponent. Look at you. And not even attacking. Because you want to turn it into a 5/5? That can't be right. Anyway. Prophecy. Stag that painful bond. Erebos' intervention, yes? No? I'm going to painful bond anyway. I'm not worried about the life loss in the sequencing here. So no big deal there. Cling to Dust is a nice pickup to just kind of grab something. And I guess we'll grab Domri for a draw card. And that's pretty good. So that's a good way to start this whole thing. How about some Invoke Despair, opponent? Double. You're not taking advantage of that haste, then I'll take advantage of you not using it. Discard 2 cards. Easy peasy. So now we're going to start burning them out. Zof Consumption will get them to 2. We can... I think that's really all we can do at the moment. So, yeah. Why not? Maybe they'll just concede on this alone. Great Henge does exist and does cause issues where the... it gains them some life here. So we have to concern ourselves with that. I'll stagger them with Wild here. Before they find a Clothis and take advantage of our graveyard. Locthwain? Okay. Locthwain's not a really important one here. We'll take Brawler. Brawler, we can Erebos' intervention for 200. If they play a second creature, Questing Beast, sure. Then we can Erebos' intervention multiple targets. Wow, they kind of hit a chain here, didn't they? They're going to feel a little bit of this here in a second. So, Questing Beast, the only one naturally hasty. We're going to hold off on this one for a moment. 8, 9, 10, 11. Oh, wait. Oh, no, 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 no. You have to full control in order to take advantage of that. So, 16. 16 will use up the mana, so it's fine there. So Wellspring still activates. And we gain 32 life. Nice Gruul deck. We're 58. You gonna beat that down? What you got? Nothing. Alright. Well, Primal Amulet. Let's go nuts here. I want a Painful Bond. I have a couple things in mind I would like. That's not terrible. Let's do it. This'll probably make them concede. It'll at least shut down the life gain. Actually, we can do it this way. Without having to flip the amulet. Let's eat to Extinction, Domri. You know what? That's not a kill spell at this point. Or not a win con. And I totally did the mana wrong. That is fine. Alright, well, whatever. We'll do it next turn. Cabal Stronghold just kind of being a little bit wonky with the math of everything. Okay, so that's flipped. You know what? We're just going to play this amulet. Screw it. I wanted to knock out the Great Henge, but we're not doing it today. Except that we're doing that today. Doesn't matter. Let's go with... Do you have anything in there I want? No? Fine. Go ahead. I'll take my 5 extra mana and throw it in the dumpster. Just looking for that win con. Yeah, I wanted to knock out Great Henge. We're going to knock out most everything anyway. Coco, sure. That's not going to hit a lot of stuff in their deck. That's exactly what I thought. It was going to be lucky to hit it all because they've just polluted it with so many things. Okay, so we need to knock out 4 permanents here, which is pretty easy. Ritual of Soot for 1. And then blue, black, Dispersal for the rest. Off you go. It was a land. That's how we get rid of artifacts. Very late game, but we get rid of them. Okay. Now they know they're not in the game. Okay, we're on the draw. We have a Cabal Stronghold tied with a Sign in Blood here, so not perfect. We can offset that with Hagra Mauling, so there is options here. But we do have a Fatal Push for early game, Baleful Mastery for later. Soul Warden says that I might want to go with the early game first. So we'll just kind of watch this first. Soul Warden, life gain is one of our worst matchups. Just because we have limitations. I'm going to knock out that Voice of the Blast. It's a hard decision, but which ones you take care of. But they've been able to deal with their enablers coming back. Abiding Grace has been showing up in a number of life gain decks, so Soul Warden was that's why I didn't pick. That's why I didn't pick Soul Warden. Okay, we have Cling to Dust and Baleful Mastery, all that stuff. So anyway, we've dealt with the things we can deal with. A Ritual of Soot's not terrible. Let's get to the mana. Obviously, we need a lot of mana to be able to deal with the graveyard at the same time as deal with the creatures on board. So there is that. So let's see how this goes. Another Soul Warden. Again, Ritual of Soot can slow them down, because they won't see their stuff until the beginning of the next turn. Voice of the Blessed. You can have a card. Those go away right now. They get none of those. Now we do get Sign in Blood for a turn if we want. Or we can Ritual of Soot. Sign in Blood. Okay, we have enough graveyard hate now. I think we're good to move forward now. The lands, on the other hand, are a bit wonky right now. Like, they're just not showing up. Healer's Hawk, that's definitely another 1-drop. Return target creature card? Okay, so my thought here is to hopefully, Painful Bond. Draw land, maybe. Never. Draw land. Okay, we'll get Amulet here in a minute. Ritual of Soot. Blows up this board. The Abiding Grace will have no target because Cling to Dust removes it later on their turn. Then we get to untap. And we get to Erebos' Intervention. That's the how we're doing this. So we gain the life, they gain nothing. Lose 2 life, but we gain life by aggregate here. Okay. So, with that in mind, we can now Erebos' Intervention. We can now deal with most everything. We cannot Amulet until that graveyard is empty. That's where we're at. Just let them take their turn. I'm going to leave Healer's Hawk for a minute. Just leave it there. It's not a threat currently. Okay, Erebos' Intervention for... we're just going to do 2. Get the Voice of the Blessed too. I was thinking about snagging it and, you know, getting some mana value out of it later. When they attempt to Claire class it or some nonsense like that. Primal Amulet's probably going to get something hitting it, but, you know, whatever. There's no real easy way of setting up this mana. Yeah, we'll just set it. It's fine. Our stuff is cheaper currently. Healer's Hawk again. So board wipe Erebos' Intervention is something on the menu. I'm thinking of drawing a card here. So target my own stuff. Just going to grab a Fatal Push out of the yard. Don't exile the Fatal Push. Just gets an Amulet trigger. And gets us through all these lands that we didn't draw at the early game. Of course, of course. Alright, pass the turn. I don't want to use E2 Extinction on a Healer's Hawk. I don't. Don't make me do it. Can't make me. No, you probably can make me. Fine. No, I don't want to do it. Cancel, cancel, cancel. I want to. I really want to. I could do it at their end step after the Abiding Grace is resolved. Of course you do. Okay, that trigger's fired. E2 Extinction. Does Alcei trigger? Okay. Now we'll do this for 7. I just want to gain some life. Not to mention the Amulet will trigger. And start working its way up. And I want to show that I'm smarter than them. Also, holy crap. We'll use this. You know what? This is draw a card. Cancel. Cancel. Yeah, this is draw a card if we kill the Healer's Hawk. It's actually, yeah, it's draw a card. So, 5, 7, 8. Amulet flips. Four mana left over. We're 22. Now that Abiding Grace goes away. And we draw a pile of cards. Okay. Painful Bond, Primal Amulet. Feel like we might be in it because we can double Painful Bond. We're 22, so that's probably okay. Claire class shows up. That's the graveyard that we have to cling to dust, of course. So let's try and get some stuff in there. That's a dispersal, if we want it. Okay, I think we're going to be blowing a lot of mana here. I can cling to dust whatever they try to graveyard recur, so that's no big deal. I'm not worried about that. Okay, those were kind of the cards I was hoping to find here. So Cram Session. Mascot Exhibition. Let's see how well they can deal with pressure. Cram Session. We're going to just do this fairly for this particular... No, we can do it without fair. Okay. Yeah, who cares about their graveyard? We're going to put a winning position on everything here. Alright. Here's some pressure. Deal with it. I don't care about your cleric costs. You care about this. You're focusing on this now. How about this? You deal with this now. That was a wrath. Okay. That's why I want the dispersal to clear that kind of nonsense. But, whatever. Let's drain them some more. Get that extra card out of their hand. Also, this is a lot of damage. That's my dispersal that I wanted. Because that can empty a hand. And that'll be the check that we need. Also, we're going to deck ourselves off Invoke Despair. Oh, goodness. Oh, my. Yeah, we're down to 18 cards in our deck. Okay. That happened. Yeah, let's just pass to the next turn. We have lots of things we can do. 6 cards. 2, 3. We definitely don't need a Locthwain. Let's drop a Ritual of Soot. Extinction Event will keep because it exiles, and when you copy it, you can choose both odd and even. So we'll take that one. What else do we want to get rid of? Fatal Push is... Oh, how many? Oh, 6 cards? Fine. Cool. Done. All these... When you flip more than one amulet, things get a little silly. Alright, now let's see what the opponent thinks of this. And we will be stripping that hand. So, we copy 1 Discovery Dispersal. Bounce whatever they play, and they'll end up discarding 2 cards. They have 2 cards to play, so we'll make them discard 2 cards. That, on the other hand, may modify that. No, it won't modify it. It won't modify it at all. I can Primal Amulet. I will do that. We're going to have some fun with that. The amulet's unnecessary, but still. Oh, this has to be blue. That's fine. Dispersal. So that gets rid of both those things. Even a token can't save them here. Yes, you get rid of both things, opponent. They're processing that. They processed that. Okay, on the play, we've got multiple discoveries, Extinction Event, Cram Session. We can get our land drops at least to an Extinction Event for what it's worth. We are on the play, so we can act quickly. Do I want Cram Session? Do I want Discovery? Our opponent is playing Hardened Scales, which means big creatures fast, or big creatures straight up. I think that Extinction Event will do quite well. It's just, I think we probably want to have land drops and everything come together here. We're going to drop this Cram Session here and try to just push to natural land drops for a hot minute. Alright. Pious Wayfarer is a card that has nothing to do with Hardened Scale. Okay. We have our land drops. Cram Session. I'm going to grab Pest Summoning because big creatures means chump blockers. And that's kind of where my concern was there. You definitely need to be able to chump block that nonsense. Whatever it may be. Garrick's Harbinger. So far, not awful. And all within Extinction Event, I'm going to just drop my Primal Amulet. Opponent has played no cards that synergize with each other. Currently. I believe this it says, okay, creature card. Okay, that searches a creature card. Enchantress's Presence. I mean, sure. But that means if Enchantress's Presence is available, that means O-rings are available, and I have to be careful of that. Jungleborn Pioneer. I guess that makes a hexproof guy? Let's name this on odd. I'm also going to pass summoning now just to put something on the table that's not Primal Amulet. It's just meant as chump blockers anyway. We don't have a current board wipe in hand, and they're declaring they're going to have a hexproof big guy. More hexproof big guys. Destiny Spinner. Now that one's scaring me. Alright. So, Discovery. We'll keep an eye on Dispersal. Second Amulet's gonna go bye-bye. This Painful Bond is acceptable. Take that action. That was pretty good. And they tapped low. They have no mana for this. Destiny Spinner being dead is a big deal to me. That thing can kill you out of nowhere in this deck. Because it just animates all the lands. Okay. Doing better. I think Sign in Blood while we have time. That was what I was hoping for, is just knock out all their enchantments real fast. Let's take and do some damage. Damage is hard to come by in this deck. Let's do it. So if they play Jungleborn Pioneer, nothing else. Oh, they're playing Paradise Druid. Okay. They don't have the mana, in other words. If they play an Aura, Invoke Despair gets a little weird, because I'm pretty sure that the sequencing allows them to still get rid of the Aura after they sacrifice the creature, because it all happens at the same time. So we'll be watching for that. They're just nothing but gas, though, and we gotta shut down that gas. So an Invoke Despair will be good for that. Erebos' Intervention, not terrible. Alright. Let's see how this plays out. Yeah. Now they can choose Citizen Training. Yeah. Now the second copy gets rid of either Hardened Scales or Presence. Hardened Scales hasn't proven to be threatening yet, so, you know, we're probably fine. As for the rest, our hand is... let's get him down to 10. Let's get him down to 10. Let's keep winning this race. Harbinger. Hexproof from black, by the way, I'd like to add. Now our opponent goes wide. They have 2 hexproof from us. Fire off this Cling to Dust and just get somewhere deeper, please. Painful Bond. Okay. That was pretty good. So, well, I guess we just name odd and even here and just call it a day, right? Although, we can get rid of the Enchantress's presence off the table, I suppose. How much mana do we have? 6, 7, 8, 9? We don't have enough mana to do that. So, what I wanted to do was Extinction Event away the odd, keep our tokens, and then Discovery Dispersal away these, and they can have their presence in hand, that kind of thing. That is not going to happen here. We are probably just going to name odd and even, and accept that we have 10 to push through some other means. Oh, wait. You know what? I got a better idea. Let's gain the life off them if we're going to do something like that. Or to just deal 2 damage. Because our life total matters right now. It's getting there. Okay. Well, their life total doesn't matter to them, and they're at 8. Let's Extinction Event both halves here. Yeah, I can deal with your hexproof opponent. I have means. Cling to Dust will probably be our next play, or something like that. Let's just see what they do. And that's where Cling to Dust or any of our cards at instant speed matter. Destiny Spinner. Yep, that's a card. Cost 4 to activate, correct? Yes. More hexproof. Opponent is definitely wanting that hexproof. All that glitters. And I can't touch it right now. Okay. Oops, I just bumped the mic. Painful Bond. We have to now dig for yet another answer for yet another hexproof guy. Destiny Spinner probably going to have a very solid Erebos' intervention, but I obviously can't multi-target there. Okay, so. I'm going to Discovery for now, saving the, I'm going to need that. I don't necessarily need that. It's nice, though. Actually, it's a pretty good land drop. Nah, let's just save it. Okay, I want this. I want this. And I definitely want this dead. That actually hurt a little bit. Okay. So from our point, we're still okay because we can Cling to Dust 2 creatures out of the graveyard. And that's 6 life. Jesus. Yeah, that's 9. Please just attack. Rakai Troll. Another hexproof. Good lord, so much hexproof. Alright. Now we Cling to Dust. And we target some Destiny Spinner here. Exile 5 random cards. And I don't know what they got as a play, so we're just going to grab something else and gain some more. It is now tapped, I would like to point out. So Paradise Druid is tapped currently. Which means that it is targetable. Our opponent now has priority. Our opponent has chosen to not care about their priority and just kind of sit there and do nothing. No, the game ain't over, dude. What'd they do? Walk away? I feel like they walked away. So the Barkai Troll is holding all priority and they're not paying attention to it. You know, those kind of people. They don't pay attention to their own triggers. That's what we got here. Pay attention to your priorities. It's Adonto Vanguard all over again. Oh, come on! Good Lord. Alright. So I can force that Barkhide trigger. 6... 1, 2, 3, 4. So we got 10. 11. For an Erebos' Intervention X. Double 11s. Seems good. So they protect their Barkhide Troll or their Paradise Druid with whatever they have in hand with 11. Let's see how they act. Cool. So they keep their Barkhide Troll and they lose their Paradise Druid. We're at 17. All that nonsense goes away. So they have a Barkhide Troll with 0 counters on it right now, so they can't give it hexproof again. Never mind. I lied. I lied. If 0... Well, let's see. No, I'd bounce Hydra's Growth and Enchantress's Presence if I'm bouncing anything. It's too much card draw going on for Dispersal to be useful, basically. Need my opponent to kind of chill out for a minute. Because they always seem to have their next creature locked and ready. So I'm thinking, if we draw nothing of relevance... Okay, that was just random. If we draw nothing of relevance on our natural draw, we Discovery. Hagra Mauling is... Yeah, that's... Okay. So we double Discovery. And we dig as deep as humanly possible. Second Amulet will flip, giving us the option to do something else. Our opponent is going to hold priority with that troll. Why, dude? Come on! You got the priority, dude! Your rope is showing. Okay. Maybe we'll get to see Discovery. Yeah? You know what? I want it. Despite all these land drops, I don't know how late this game's going to go. So, we'll just kind of play through. Anyways. We get their creature, and we're getting their whole board here. We're getting the Enchantress's Presence too, because the first one is going to trigger off an aura when they choose enchantment. But the second one, everything's resolved and gone to the graveyard, and so we get that Enchantress's Presence. Also, they're dead. Apparently, they're dead. They're not dead. Okay. So 2 cards remaining in their deck. Let's see how good they are with this. Your move. Your freaking move. Go for it. Okay, so it definitely removes stuff. It definitely does a lot of removing stuff. I tried to maximize drawing cards without going overboard. I think that, like, Discovery plus Painful Bond and Sign in Blood was generally enough, but Invoke Despair was the new card to the deck, and by its adjustment, kind of made it so that we just stopped petering out completely without having just another drawing air card, right? So that was the nice adjustment for that, is the fact that Invoke Despair draws cards was kind of the exact thing this deck needed to let me present it to you, because this was one of those fun ones I played. I say fun, it's not fun, it's clearly just not fun at all. This is the deck I played when people were playing obnoxious decks and I wanted to stick it to them. That's what this deck was overall. And it definitely does that most days. You know, those days you just can't win with any deck you choose. This was the deck I would bring. That's the one. And if I can't win with this one, I'm off. I'm going to go outside and see what the sun looks like. That's usually where this goes. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the deck, and I'll see you later. Take care. Bye-bye.